Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good. So in today's video, we are going to talk about Snowflake. So I have seen many people who are very good in data engineering, who are very good in understanding the fundamentals of Spark, big data ecosystem, but they fail in cracking the interview question of Snowflake. They understand the technical things of the Snowflake, they are able to answer the few basics questions of Snowflake. But when it comes around the actual fundamental architecture of Snowflake or what is the actual use case which they would have worked with, so they fail in explaining that part. So in this video I want to bring up the learning way, or how you should learn Snowflake, how you should understand Snowflake, so that when you apply it in the real time, or when you apply in the use cases, actual project use case, there you will not face any difficulties. And also if you face any kind of very fundamental and basics question on the Snowflake in the interview, you will be able to handle all that situation. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel, it helps me a lot. And please spread this channel to all the people, all your friends and colleagues who wants to move into data engineering, or they have some issues with the data engineering skills. So we'll start now. So we'll start this video with my channel itself. So I have a very extensive list of the Snowflake topics, which I have already created. And like most of the topic in the Snowflake has been dealt in this thing. Okay, I don't need to download it, just click on this. Okay, this is an ad. So you can see there's a list of multiple topics in the Snowflake, and there are around 19 videos on the Snowflake. And this is more than enough for you to understand at least the mid level of the Snowflake thing. So what I want people to do is, like, what I want people who are trying to move or trying to learn Snowflake, they should first understand what is Snowflake. They should actually understand what is Snowflake and how it is different from the traditional database. So then you will understand that why this Snowflake is very popular. It is running across multiple, all the big companies. Snowflake is there. People are migrating towards Snowflake. So why this Snowflake is important? To understand this, you need to first understand how Snowflake is different from the traditional database. First thing. Second thing, what all things the Snowflake can handle. We talk about virtual warehouse. So just don't go directly and learn virtual warehouse. First, you learn what is warehouse. So you should understand what is warehouse. When you understand what the warehouse is and what is the problem statement, like what were the issues in our traditional warehouse design, then you can go with understanding of virtual warehouse. And when you will understand the difference between warehouse and virtual warehouse, then actually you will understand why this Snowflake is important. I've seen many of the seniors in multiple organizations that they have worked in multiple of use case of data engineering, but when it comes to Snowflake, they when they ask also question in the interview, they will ask what is the architecture of Snowflake. So there are three layers: compute, storage, another authentication, security layer. If a candidate is able to answer all these three layers, then the senior thinks that the candidate knows everything about the Snowflake. Actually, the basics is clear. But I don't judge the person in that way. If you're not aware of the exact name of each of the layer of Snowflake, it doesn't matter to me. What I ask people to do is just go to the basic, understand why this Snowflake is important. Is Snowflake actually running the query inside it, or Snowflake is just as a template? So if you would have known about the Informatica, Ab initio, so they used to be handling a heavy query, but in some of the very heaviest query, they used to get stuck. So why they used to get stuck? There must be some process which is running inside the Informatica. But in Snowflake, you would have never heard about the Snowflake UI is stuck. It doesn't get stuck because Snowflake in itself doesn't run anything inside it. So it uses the cloud compute, it uses the cloud storage, and then it manages it. So it's as a service. So Snowflake is as a service, it creates a template, and that template is being scheduled in some of the cloud compute layer. For example, if your Snowflake is hosted on AWS, then AWS is used as the storage, means S3 is used as the storage, and EC2 is used as the compute layer. So similarly, you have to understand what Snowflake is, and then you need to go into the different warehousing size. That is a different parameter. If you don't remember the size of the warehouse, then also it doesn't matter. Only a senior person or more than 10 years of experience, they should know how to decide on the Snowflake warehouse size. So for that also, I think I have already created the video like how to choose the right Snowflake virtual warehouse. So I would like you to first go into why Snowflake, pre-introduction of Snowflake. So this will create the base of your understanding of Snowflake. This video will not make you understand what the Snowflake architecture is, but this video will make your base clear. It will just set that parameter that how you will go and approach the Snowflake. Then you can go through Snowflake architecture. Yeah, you can be aware of UI and try to set up the free account. It makes the difference. Then what is Snowflake warehouse? You can go through it. Basics of the warehouse is also developed into it. And then I have discussed about multiple use cases where how Snowflake integrates it with AWS. See, most of the use case, what is actually happening in the company is that people are or the client is moving from the SQL database or S3 to Snowflake. They want to move the warehouse to the Snowflake. Now, while moving the warehouse to the Snowflake, there are two ways they are doing it. They are either putting all the data into the Snowflake, and then from the Snowflake they try to build the warehouse inside it. The other thing is, while picking the data from any of the traditional database, they do all the transformation. They create the pipeline of creating the warehouse inside the Snowflake. So in the first thing, they put the data into the Snowflake and then they design that how the data dimension table will be, how the fact table will be. And the other case, they already decide what the dimension and fact table will be, and accordingly they put it inside the table in Snowflake. So in the first process, in the first option where they first put the data into the Snowflake and try to create a warehouse on the top of it, so they use ELT process. So ELT process, like I have written it here, like extract, load, transform. There are multiple tool which uses ELT process. Like Informatica IICS itself has the ELT process. DBT is very popular in open source, very lightweighted and very much efficient in doing the ELT process. So most of the project or most of the client, they are running the ELT process transformation on the Snowflake. So by seeing all this scenario, we come to the conclusion that migration is the biggest thing which is now happening in the Snowflake. Obviously, there is an optimization in the Snowflake. If you're actually a Snowflake engineer, then you will go into the optimization, warehouse resizing, auto scaling, different types of table deciding factor. But as a data engineer of 5 to 6 years of experience, you should just focus on the migrating the object into Snowflake. Now, if I talk about AWS, then what is the relation with the Snowflake with the S3 bucket? How you can insert the real-time data into Snowflake? How you can insert the batch data into Snowflake? What are the different stages in the Snowflake? That is actually very important. I have seen it here. The video is there. Snowflake stage practical. This is very detailed. If I also have any confusion in the later stage, like I just go through this video. This video is like well researched and well practically I have put it here in this one. Then there's this file format, and there is another thing which is very important. I have seen people asking in the interview is types of table in Snowflake and when to use which kind of table. This is very important. It looks very simple, but this is very important. The other important topic is zero data cloning. That has also been discussed here. Then what is data sharing? This is also discussed. Understanding Snowflake stream. This is more of the advanced level. Managing Snowflake cost is another thing. Mastering column level security. This is very important. So almost all the topics, like you should go through how to move the data from as Snowflake stages into Snowflake, then loading error and transform data, validate mode. So if you go through all the videos of it, around 17 to 18 19 videos or 17 18 videos, you can go through it, you will have almost all the knowledge of the Snowflake. So with this video, I want to focus on, like, just don't go randomly and try to understand Snowflake. If you Google in the chat GPT or wherever, so you will get it. Like Snowflake is a warehouse, it's a database. Some people will say it's a storage layer. Some people will say it's a warehouse. Some people will say it's a company. It just run the query. But you go through this video, you will understand the basics of the Snowflake, and accordingly, you can use that knowledge in the interview. That will be very helpful. Like, just trust me. The people who would have just followed these of path have really been benefited in the interview. So I hope while going through all this video, it will be easy for you to understand. But still, if you have any doubt after going through this video, you can post it in the comment. I'll come up with the solution. So this was more about a suggestion kind of video. Like multiple playlist has been created in the Spark in Gen AI. So I thought of the Snowflake is one area where few people have a good concept, but most of the people, they don't understand actually what Snowflake is, and they say that they know multiple things about the Snowflake. They try to answer all the questions, but when I hit them in the basics of the Snowflake, they get scattered there because they have not understood what is actually Snowflake. I hope this video will motivate you to learn the Snowflake in a better way. Okay, so but I always say motivation is one part. You should be less motivated, but and be more consistent. That matters a lot. So you just go through it. In any doubt, any of the D doubt also, you can just directly ping me. In this video comment, you can post specific to the Snowflake. And in general, if you have any D doubt, Spark, or the cloud AWS, especially AWS cloud doubt, you can just mail me in the channel description. You will find my email address and just mail me. Till then, happy learning and goodbye.